think the very quick thing is we need to listen to children, young people and adult athletes. Safeguarding is about creating the most safe, enjoyable and fun environment you can, whatever level that you're operating at, and right from the moment a child first puts their foot across the doorstep of a sports club. It's about listening to them, involving them and creating an environment that's for them and serves them.
Our whole approach to safeguarding is about empowering bystanders. This is an important part of safeguarding.
Sure.
It's protecting the child, protecting the staff, and also protecting the organization, because you will have vicarious liability as an organization if you do not have an appropriate policy and procedures and staff training in place. You're going to get sued and you have no defense if you have no procedures in place. So this is a false economy of time.
I would definitely suggest that being able to understanding the culture that you're working in, the society that you are living in as well, is really important, and in being able to adjust and kind of edit policy and create commitments that are relevant to you and your people and the culture that you're from. And that's really about having a discussion and really working together to figure out and decide upon what is considered appropriate or what is really considered inappropriate.
I believe every child deserves to grow up and fulfill their potentials without fear of being harmed or abused. So it's not only in the sports sector, it's everyone's responsibility to provide such a safe environment for a child and children and youth youngsters. So what I say is we should join hands together, every one of us, to make sure that the space, the environments that our child grow up is safe.
We believe that, coaches are actually natural mentors to young people, no matter if they are not, mental health professions, but they can play a good role of trusted adults. So that's why we bring in this initiative and trying to train the coaches to be able to, be more aware of how their young players are, on the field, and be able to be there to support them when they can.
In terms of Hong Kong Rugby, we really see ourselves as providing the platform and the facilitation. There's so much that we can do. We work with so many children and adults, and I think we've got a fantastic opportunity to work with an organisation as experienced as Kelly in delivering these youth programmes, particularly to be able to really make a difference.
The role of a coach doesn't just start and end when you're at program. Even when you go home, it's as if you don't really have a personal life, because the children that I work with are children from the same community as me. So being a coach at Ways for Change doesn't stop and end there. When I go home, I'm still a coach, I'm still a mentor, because I still see children and they look up to me, not just at the program, but even when I'm at home. So hence I said it's as if you don't have a personal life, because you're someone that's changing children's lives, therefore your life also changes.
So for me, it's about encouraging coaches to have a better understanding and knowledge of mental health and their mental health, but to also start learning and practicing some tools such as mindfulness, being really aware of their stress, checking in with their mental health on a regular basis. There is a number of great resources that are embedded in science and evidence-based interventions that can be really useful that coaches can practice on a regular basis.
I also had 6 years where I experienced a lot of lows and was also experiencing some mental health issues where I needed to sort of help.
Right.
But with the right direction and support from my coaches and teammates, I was able to come out and eventually make my childhood dream come true. So, I think sports and mental health in sports, I think it's just as crucial as physical training. And to me, after this experience, to me, mental health is really about, doing your best, bringing out the best potential in people, regardless of their background, gender, and age, and living out your best.
As a young boy, you felt like you were flying in the water. It was like you were defying gravity. So it was incredible. And then at that stage, then I started picking up swimming more professionally. Went to a club, and just it was incredible because you started feeling like you were part of a unit, like part of a pack. And I think humans, we're all social animals, and it was just incredible to feel part of a unit and a team. That we all had quite a common interest and enjoyment and a sense of being.
No matter what sport we take part in or what sport we play, I think ultimately sport it kind of feels the same for all of us.
Yes.
Cameron shared about having ADHD. I think for me it was a platform to also be able to switch off, be able to take out your frustrations, be able to feel part of that unit, feel like you're worth something in many instances. And ultimately, it is whatever challenge you go through, often what happens is you use your sport to be able to get through it.
運動咧係可以幫我哋去解決呢個情緒嘅困擾嘅。咁只要你係揾到一個適當嘅方法係俾你自己就可以嘅。而家我退役咗啦，咁變咗我冇比賽啦，咁我仍然都要有參與運動，例如行山啊、打羽毛球咁樣。咁其實喺玩呢啲運動之中咧，其實我都可以同好多朋友去接觸啦、交流啦，咁將自己平時一啲打個比喻就係話有啲壓力嘅時候可以同人分享啦。咁我覺得做運動其實大家都知道健康嘅，咁但係有另一方面就係話點樣可以幫你舒緩壓力啊，或者點樣改變人生。我諗呢一方面其實都係可以喺運動方面帶到俾我哋。
That was another struggle too. How do you break through from being a young athlete to be a professional senior? So that was, but I learned from those struggles and build that mental resilience from there to understand what it takes to be a top professional athlete and to eventually become a world champion, and using sport to build that values, to have them understand what it is to face those challenges and to understand to take it all on board and become a better person themselves.
And on the back of that, I decided to set new goals and actually have different things to focus on. And one of my motivating things wasn't actually anything to do with me. It was the thought and image of my mum being able to stand at an Olympic Games next to a field with a big Union Jack. And actually that came true. And I think that sometimes you've got to look outside of your current self and look at setting goals, new goals all the time, and also your why. And my why at the time, it wasn't for me, it was for my mum, and that was a big enough motivator.
The sport has changed us, has made us stronger. So we encourage the no matter who is in front of in this meeting or our audience to use resources to help the people around you, and the kids who need help. And sports is one of the important tools can make differences.
That's right.
And we are all available to help.
The forum has been an incredible experience to be part of, and if there is one thing that has come across, it's just how big an issue mental health is for young people and how important it is that we tackle the problem. There is no doubt that mental health is more in the spotlight than it ever has been, and lots of progress has been made in raising awareness of what a global problem it is, but there is still a long way to go. It still feels like there is a stigma to the issue and the continued unwillingness to talk openly about mental health issues. It's fascinating to hear the various insights of the panelists and the forums in breaking down mental health and going into the reasons why these problems emerge. It is clear that there is no one single reason as to why people suffer from mental health, but there are themes, and the discussions we have had this week will be incredibly valuable in helping us all to understand the issue better.